94.5 PST. Did you miss anything with Chris, Joe, and Gianna on Chris and the Crew? Catch up now. This is Chris and the Crew on Demand, sponsored by Trinity Rehab. Schedule an appointment now at trinity-rehab.com.
It's 7:03, 7:04.
Live time changes.
You know how I like to be with the time. Because if you're running late in the morning, you need to know the exact time.
Chris, with time, you know one thing you will always get accurately from Chris Rollins is the time and the temperature.
I like to be accurate. True. I like to be accurate. It's Friday. It's Chris. Joseph, you want to
you just said
yourself? My
name is Joseph, and I am one of the co-captains on this ship.
And my friend over here.
Gianna. What are we doing? Why are we doing this?
It's Friday. Feeling goofy. So, the candidates, the political candidates, Joe, have been talking a lot about jobs.
And their first ones.
Their first jobs, right? So do you know Gianna had a first job? Was it your first job, Gianna?
It was not my first job, but
certainly jobs before that didn't last if you were already finding another job.
Actually,
okay.
No, it was not my first job.
Let's stay on task here.
So do you know she had a job at Chipotle for literally one day? One day.
Gianna, did you even finish the training?
No, that's where I called it quits.
Okay.
I just was looking.
Wait, you have to tell us the story.
Well, I walk in and I'm doing all the training videos and I sat in the back and I wasn't catching the vibe. It wasn't for me. And everybody was looking like they were working a little too hard, And I was like, oh, this looks like it could be there's a lot of cooking. There's a lot of things going on.
What did you think you were applying for? Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I just kind of thought that.
Because it sounded cool because you like Chipotle?
Well, I love Chipotle. And then second of all, I was like, you know what? I think I could make a pretty mean bowl. But then I figured out that it would take me a very long time to get on the scooping line. So then
What were you going to be doing? You don't
sweeping
automatically jump to the scooping line?
No.
Oh, that's like a promotion?
Apparently.
Oh.
That's not where I was going to be starting. I was going to be cleaning.
So how did you get out of there? Were you like, hey, I got to go?
Well, I was watching the videos and then the guy was like, all right, you could get a free bowl at the end of every shift. And I went, oh, okay. He was like, would you like one? I said, sure. And I ate my bowl and
you were out
and I left. And I reflected in my car, and I thought to myself, yeah, I don't know if this is for me.
Did you call them and say I won't be back in tomorrow?
Yes, I did. I did.
Okay.
Yes,
you did.
I did, and then I think I blocked the guy's number because I got nervous. But I did have a spectacular bowl that I didn't
Did you
get
have to make it yourself?
No, I didn't get to make it myself. I wasn't allowed to be on the line.
So it wasn't very fulfilling.
No, it was not fulfilling.
My husband John had a job once at a he was like a teenager too. He thought it would be a good idea to get like an overnight job at like a loading dock. I think it was for like FedEx or something where you literally are loading the trucks.
Oh gosh.
And he was like, oh, how hard can that be? You're just moving boxes on your truck, And it was late, so nobody would be around or whatever. I think he got halfway through that shift and he was like, this sucks.
Yeah.
And he was out of there.
He was done. I get it.
Half a shift.
Honestly, at least I lasted the full shift.
Let's see if we can beat these.
He may have lasted that. Yeah. Has anybody had a job for a super short amount of time? You got to tell us. Beat Gianna's fantastic record of shortest job ever. She worked at Chipotle for literally one day.
I went into the back room and I watched some of those onboarding videos and I got a free bowl and I never went back. And I, to this day, have not stepped foot back in that Chipotle.
You're lucky it wasn't your Chipotle. You know what I mean? Or was it? Now you've switched locations.
It was.
Oh, God. So we thought the candidates had short-term jobs on their first ones. Because that's what got us here.
I drive like 10 minutes further down the road to go get it.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
We had that guy a couple of weeks ago in the office.
Oh, my God.
Who showed up for one day, rummaged through the supply cabinet, paced out front, and then left.
Right?
Really late, though. Stayed really late on his first day.
We even got the welcoming email.
Yeah.
Welcome so-and-so to, PST, all this stuff.
And then and then on day 2, he got lost getting here.
Supposedly.
But said, I'll be there. Called the bosses, said, I'll be there. And then
he got lost.
And then he didn't. And he also left his wallet here. They had to go find him on the street to give his wallet.
Very odd.
Anyway.
All right, let's get to the phones. We have Natalie in Bordentown on the line. All right, Natalie, fess up.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
So I was a teenager, and I was so excited. I got a job at the mall at this like trendy shop, and I was all dressed up. I go to work. They hand me my badge. I put it on, and it's literally like 2 minutes into me walking in, and my manager says to me, "Okay," and I was hired as a cashier and a floor person, and she says to me, "Okay, so your first job is you need to go into the bathrooms and clean the bathroom and scrub the floors and the toilet." And I looked at her and I said, "Oh my gosh, where is that like in my job description?" She goes, "It's not." And I go, "I'm out." It was literally like not even 10 minutes.
She's got you beat, Gianna.
She beat Gianna at the
10
Chipotle.
minutes.
That's amazing.
But I have to say, as a teenager, good for her for standing up for herself and say, "Where's that in my job description?"
Yeah, actually.
I think I probably would have just been like, okay,
and I would have cried in the bathroom.
Toilet. Right. All right, let's go to Rebecca in Ewing. All right, Rebecca, where did you work?
Oh, gosh. I got hired by like a local TV station to make cold calls to ask for money.
Mm-hmm.
And they give you that notebook. If the person says no, you say this. If the person, it was a whole thing. I made one phone call. The guy said, "No, I really don't have the money." And I was like, "Thank you." Click. Closed my little notebook. Handed it into the supervisor. I said, "This job is not for me."
Yeah.
It was maybe 10 minutes I was there.
The rejection's hard. I get it.
Yes.
I get it.
And I was like, "There's no way I can do this." So.
I don't think I could do that either.
Do you know? You're both going to be
you're
both going to be shocked by this. In college, I had the job where you had to call alumni and ask them to donate.
Oh, I hate those calls.
I was so good at it that when I tried to quit, they begged me to stay.
What? You actually got people to
I
donate
got people.
to you?
I would make connections with people on the phone and stuff, and then I got a job in radio, so I had to quit. But I was really good at that.
Huh?
I should go back to that.
I'm surprised because you don't even like talking to people.
I don't.
Yeah.
I would listen to them, and by the end, I'd be like, "You know what would make you feel better? Give me $20."
Oh my God. All right, let's go to Jesse in Washington. All right, so what was your job?
Funny enough, it was also a call center. So I made it a little longer than 10 minutes. So I made it 2 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, so they sat me down. They did the little training with me for about 30 minutes. And then I made a few phone calls. And it's just like, I'm a numbers guy. So I was moved down to Florida. I was just trying a couple random things, but that was definitely not one that was for me.
Yeah, I can't imagine getting hung up on. And I mean, you know how you treat telemarketers, right? So yeah,
I'm telling you, I was really good at that. I found compassion with them.
I think you're probably the only one.
Well, I don't know.
Tammy in Langhorne is in the PST app chat. She said, "I worked at McDonald's in high school, and I got through orientation, and that was it."
That was it?
I didn't even get through orientation.
That's a fun job.
McDonald's, that's what the thing about the whole McDonald's thing in political has been in the past couple of weeks. It's an insane statistic of Americans that was their first job. It's like 6 out of every 10 Americans have worked in a McDonald's or something insane.
They're everywhere.
Well, because, they're
everywhere.
On every
and
corner.
And they hire at 16, so,
True.
yeah.
That makes sense.
Interesting. All right, so it's 7:17. It's Chris and the crew. It's 7:31. Happy Friday. It's Chris, Joe, Gianna. We're Chris and the crew. So if you're a fan of Beetlejuice, Airbnb kind of has you hooked up here in New Jersey, right?
This is super cool. So Airbnb kind of recreated the Dietz's house from, the movies. And it's in Hillsborough, New Jersey.
Close.
Yeah, it's pretty close. And you go on Airbnb basically, and it's $0. It's a free thing, and you scan it. Like there's a QR code that you scan in the app, in the Airbnb app, and you could win like a 3-hour tour of the thing. You don't get to stay overnight.
I was just going to say, okay.
It's like more of like an experience.
Well, that's pretty cool though.
But yeah, it's super exclusive.
It probably gives the chance for more people to go through.
Yeah.
If someone's not staying overnight, you know what I mean? You can get take 3-hour tours.
There's 10 available dates right now.
Did you sign up?
I didn't sign up yet, but I need to sign up today.
Yeah,
the last day to sign up is November 5th.
Okay.
So you have until then to sign up. But
it's right here in New Jersey.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy. Like there's an art class that you could take, and it has all the different sets from the movie. Like the attic is decorated like the actual attic from the movie and everything, and it has the diorama of the town from the movie.
So this is just someone's house that they've transformed it, I guess?
I don't know. It's just saying that they transformed a 2-story house. So I'm not
a big fan.
Yeah, or I don't know.
That's dedication.
I doubt they rebuilt. I doubt they built a house.
Like Joe said, that is some dedicated. That's a fan and a half
But
right
the thing
there.
is,
I don't even like to do anything for
Super
myself
fan.
that much, you know?
well, this is by Airbnb. So I'm kind of confused, like, with the lore. Like, did they make this house? Like, I need answers for this because the house, when you look at it, it looks exactly like the house from the movie.
Huh.
It looks like it was, like, built and modeled after the movie.
That's very cool.
It's very weird. Very insane.
It's Can't Beat Chris. Can't Beat Chris on 94.5 PST.
Let's get right to it, Chris Rollins.
Who's up for the task?
Who thinks they're up for the task is a good question of ending a whopping 1-day streak over here. Can we even call it a streak? Well,
Now the phones are like lit because they're like, we can
do this.
This girl.
All right, who's on the line to beat Chris Rollins today? Good morning. What's your name?
Hi, Jason from Maple Shade.
Jason, you're ready to take on Chris. You've been here before. You tied with her last time you played, right?
I did.
Okay.
Ooh, so he's smart.
So he's, at least smart enough to tie you. We'll see if he can beat you today, right?
Sometimes.
Me too, Jason. Me too.
All right. Jason, Chris, I'll let you leave the room. Jason, we're going to ask you 3 questions. When Chris comes back, she's going to get the exact same 3, and we'll see who gets more right, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, Jason, your quiz starts now. Gaga has a new song out today, Disease. What is Lady Gaga's first name?
Lady Gaga's first name. I want to say it's Stephanie.
Do you want to lock it in?
Yeah, let's lock it in.
He says not so confidently.
He said it not so confidently. We'll see. Question number 2, also about a pop star. It's Katy Perry's birthday. She was a judge for 7 seasons on what singing competition show?
Who was it again?
Katy Perry.
Katy Perry was on American Idol.
Do you want to lock in American Idol?
Lock it in.
All right.
And the third and final question. There are only 6 days until Halloween. Name the Halloween movie that features a character named Jack Skellington.
Nightmare Before Christmas. Lock it in.
All right, Jason, we're going to call Chris back into the room. Can't Be Chris, powered by Legoland Discovery Center, Philadelphia. Jump into a world of creativity, color, and playful learning. Info and tickets at philadelphia.legolanddiscoverycenter.com. What's going on, Chris?
Hey there.
You ready?
Yeah, that was quick. So I have a feeling he did well.
I think you based it on speed a little too much, but we'll see how this goes. All right,
Okay.
Your first question, Chris Rollins.
On this one.
What'd you say, Jason?
I said I'm crossing my fingers on my end.
Okay.
Here we go. Chris's quiz starts now. First question for you, Chris. Lady Gaga's brand new song, Disease, is out today. What is Gaga's first name?
You know how much I love her. It's Stephanie.
You both said Stephanie, and you're both correct.
Very good.
Steph is what I call her.
You call,
Oh,
you
that's what you
personally?
call-
Huh? 'Cause you're-
Oh, God.
We're on the nickname basis.
Sure. Her middle name is also Joanne, which is one of her album titles. Anyway, on to the next. It's Katy Perry's birthday today. She was a judge for 7 seasons on what singing competition show?
American Idol.
You both said American Idol, and you're both correct.
Coming down to this third and final
I
question.
knew he was getting these right.
With only 6 days left until Halloween, name the Halloween movie that features a character named Jack Skellington.
I know this because it's like one of Gianna's favorites. The Nightmare Before Christmas.
You both said The Nightmare Before Christmas, and you guys are both correct, which means you guys officially tied today.
Again, Jason.
2 ties, Jason.
Good job, Chris.
Good job, Jason.
A good sport. We got a 4-pack of tickets to see Disney on Ice coming to the Cure Insurance Arena this February for you, Jason.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys.
Bring your family on a journey they won't stop talking about. See your favorite Frozen and Encanto friends live in an all-new show. Tickets go on sale Tuesday, tickets are on sale now, I should say, for the Cure Insurance Arena. The show is going to run February 6th through the 9th. Visit DisneyOnIce.com.
Listen Monday morning at 7:40 for another chance to beat Chris on 94.5 PST. It's Chris and the Crew's Daily Scoop.
Okay, this is kind of crazy. I don't know if it's true or not, but, Jamie Foxx, never revealed exactly what his mystery illness was, what led to his near-death experience last year.
It's true.
And he just taped a new Netflix special called What Had Happened Was. It was earlier this month. And apparently there were some people who attended the taping who were kind of spilling some secrets, saying that Jamie Foxx blamed Diddy for what happened to him, for his health emergency.
Ooh.
But, okay.
Is that just a weird joke?
I don't know. So one person said that Jamie said that Diddy did something to him that caused his hospitalization, that he was the one who called the FBI on Diddy. This guy does not think Jamie was joking. Now, a second person says that Jamie told the crowd that Diddy poisoned him. But then a third person claimed that Jamie told a bunch of Diddy jokes, but didn't blame Diddy for his health issues. So I don't really know what's true, but they're very different stories.
Yeah,
Do we know when this Netflix
We don't know when it's going to air yet. No, we don't have a release date, but it's interesting. Very interesting. So as expected yesterday, the LA County District Attorney recommended that the Menendez brothers, who are serving life sentences for murdering their parents more than 30 years ago, be resentenced. Are you watching the Netflix thing? I know a lot of people are. Joe, they said they could be out in a couple of weeks.
All the experts seem to say that that's exactly how that'll work out. Like they say this resentencing really means, but it's interesting. The reason why they think it came out yesterday, the district attorney who made the decision is up for election, and it's a way to try to get young votes.
Interesting.
Not that I'm not saying the case aside, but the rush.
And kind of loving this, Amazon Prime members, you now get if you are an Amazon Prime member, you now get a gas discount. Loving that. You can save 10 cents. They're like, well, it's just a little. 10 cents is a lot at the pumps now.
Per gallon? That's
yeah.
a lot.
So you can save 10 cents a gallon at over 7,000 BP gas stations across the country, which include Amoco and AMPM, which I really haven't heard of. I don't think that's in our area. But I took a little look at where the BP gas stations are around, this area. They're everywhere. Pennington, Hamilton, Trenton, East Windsor, Cranberry, Bordentown. I mean, they're all over the place. So you need an account with the Earnify app. So do that, and then you'll be able to follow the directions. But that's really cool. Might be driving out of my way to a BP gas station now. Although that
I think when you see one,
that kind of defeats the purpose,
Mm-hmm.
right? But that's pretty cool. All right, there's the scoop. Oh, you know what that music means? Dun, 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 dun. Come on, Gianna. Dun, 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 dun.
Like sit in the movie theater.
It is.
Dun, 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 dun.
I feel like we're just relaxing.
Dun, 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 dun.
Nobody paid you to sing, Chris.
Big opening.
I didn't.
It is Master Crew Theater here. It's our Friday morning tradition, and it just makes us happy, doesn't it?
It makes
Dan
somebody
Zero
happy.
here in studio with us. He comes running in. He asks for his part.
They invite me. They're like, Dan, would you like to? I'm like, absolutely. This is the highlight of my week. Come on.
He was born for Master Crew Theater. All right, Joe's the director.
Joe is the
All right,
director
sorry,
today.
You take the lead here.
I would like to take the lead here. Are my actors ready?
I'm ready.
Ready?
I am ready.
Has everyone hummed and done
We've
all
been in
their...
rehearsal for a while.
Yeah, I have some feedback already, but...
Do we want to give a hint?
Well, after the performance, maybe, right?
What were you thinking, Dan?
Well, I mean, all this month we've been doing a certain theme because there's a certain holiday coming up
This is
next
true.
week.
I think you just
So-
gave the hint.
Perfect.
Okay. And are we all in places?
We're here.
Quiet on my set. Action.
Come out, wherever you are.
Red rum.
Danny, I can't get out. Run and hide. Quick.
Red rum.
Little pigs, let me come in. Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in. Here's Johnny.
Quiet on my set.
Oh my God.
That hurt.
That's
It
Dan.
hurt my throat.
Ooh.
Dan, that was really
Vocal
good.
there. Thank you.
I would,
Really good.
I would
Get the
give
voice right.
Dan and Gianna A's. The issue in that scene
I'm a supporting.
was Chris Rollins just started giggling.
But Dan was so good.
She was a supporting
She started
role.
giggling. Even a supporting actor knows to be
I
quiet.
can't help myself.
Gianna's scream was quite impressive, too.
Yeah,
I will
she's
give
a
her that.
thespian. Remember, she did school theater.
Thank you, guys.
Didn't know that.
Now she has no voice for
My
the rest of
throat
the voice.
hurts.
That's the show.
Wait,
So
we
if
gotta do
you,
it one more time,
if
too,
you know
so-
which movie that was, call us now to place your guesses. If their performance wasn't good enough, we'll do it again in a couple of minutes as well. 609. We are back on my set.
Your set.
Well, I'm the director of this production.
That
We
is-
call
He
it
likes to
Master
be in
Crew
control.
Theater. We do it Fridays, most Fridays around this time at 8 o'clock. So all month it's been Halloween-themed movies. My cast of characters has lined up, ready to perform again.
And we are a cast of characters.
And if you missed their first performance, lucky for you, we give an encore on this show that we do here with Master Crew Theater. Are my actors in place?
Ready.
Guest starring, well, not really guest starring, always starring, Chief Meteorologist Dan Zaro, producer Gianna, and the woman whose name is on the show, one Chris Rollins. All right, quiet on my set. Action.
Sorry.
Come out, wherever you are.
Red rum.
Danny, I can't get out. Run and hide, quick.
Red rum.
Little pigs, let me come in. Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in.
Red rum.
Here's Johnny.
Cut.
Wow, that was a lot.
There were more giggles that time
There
again.
were more
Not
giggles.
from me, though. It was
No,
Gianna.
I know. I watched.
Me too.
I'm sorry. The red rum.
For those at home, Chris Rollins had to pull herself back from her microphone to let out a little
Yeah.
giggle.
Yeah.
All right, Gianna, your
So,
voice
you
or
know what?
cover.
It's funny because your line, Gianna, Danny, I almost thought it was Grease.
Danny.
You sound like Sandy
Well, let's go to the phones and see if anyone's guessing Greece.
with her Australian accent.
Let's get our first guesser on the line.
All right, let's go to Hope in Flemington. Hey, Hope.
Hi.
What are you thinking? There's no way you know this.
The Shining.
She's confident.
Definitely
Okay,
a possibility.
Is she the only guesser?
No, we
Oh,
have
wait.
Luann in Hamilton.
Okay.
Luann, what do you think it is?
It's The Shining.
She knows. She sounds so
Confidently.
confident. Yeah.
All right, let's go to Heather in Lawrence. Heather, what do you think it is?
It's definitely The Shining.
We did a pretty darn good job, didn't we, Heather?
You did an awesome job.
Do you like my red rums?
I did like your red rums and your giggles.
And your giggle.
All right, well,
Can't help it.
time for our big reveal. Here is the scene played back for us. Now, when you're listening to it, I want you to compare it to what you just heard this cast of actors perform.
Come out, wherever you are.
I can't get out. Run! Run! Quick!
Little pigs, let me come in. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in. Here's Johnny.
Dan did such a good job.
That last one was really good. Chris,
It was
have
The
you ever
Shining,
seen this movie?
Of course, not really. I get like 15 minutes into these movies and I'm too scared.
the thing, have you seen any of the Halloween movies we've done this
I'm
month?
telling you, I've seen like half of all these classic horror movies.
That's what I thought.
Because I had a boyfriend in high school who used to love horror movies. Seriously, it's a true story. Boyfriend in high school loved horror movies, so he would always make me watch them, and I really think it was just an excuse to like turn off the lights and get me scared and like in his arms. You know what I mean?
She said, have you seen this movie?
Nah. Now, when Chris used to go see these with that boyfriend, that was really make-out movies.
Yeah.
The slashers were
I think
happening.
that's what he wanted, yeah. There is a huge event coming up that Joe has been preparing for months. Maybe days.
Maybe days. Maybe.
It's the high heel drag race in New Hope. We have very special guests with us today.
Hello, I am Miss Pumpkin, the oldest living drag queen in captivity at this point.
And I am Melissa Patterson. I'm the president of New Hope Celebrate.
Now I hear you founded, Miss Pumpkin, you founded this high heel race. What got this started?
Margaritas probably back then. And now 20 years later, I have bad knees, a bad hip, and thousands of people come to New Hope to watch drag queens run up the street.
It is an amazing event, and Joe looks forward to this every year. He's done it for a few years now.
Ms.
Ready
Pumpkin,
for this?
what tips would you give? Okay, like let's say starting from scratch, right? Like, so if you've never seen the race, you start by racing uphill,
Carrying a pumpkin.
Carrying a pumpkin. Heels are measured. You're wearing a minimum, and Melissa's like the rule follower here, so
Right.
I'll verify
that was
with
my
her.
rule because in the beginning people would cheat and have little loafer. I'm like, that's not a heel.
So
You need
No
at least
kitten
3
heels
inches.
here.
the heels are all minimum of 3 inches. Some of them are quite bigger than that.
That's correct.
Up a hill. How far is that run? It's about
Quarter of a mile.
okay.
I couldn't even walk
But
in
it's
those
uphill.
hills, let alone run in those
And
hills.
it's uphill.
Carrying a pumpkin in honor of me.
and then back downhill with that decorated pumpkin.
After you paint the pumpkin and make it look pretty.
So, Miss Pumpkin, what should I? How should I be going? Heel first, toe first, like
heel? Is there?
Yeah, I mean, you look like you've seen your fair share of heels.
I can't wear them anymore. I'm old and fat, but hey, I'm still here. You practice vacuuming in heels. That's how you learned how to balance.
I have to start cleaning?
Do you honestly think he vacuumed?
Vacuum here and put the heels on, and that's how you learn your center of gravity and how to walk properly.
Okay, Joe. Actually, there's a vacuum in the closet out there.
Okay, and then there's a big after party as well, right?
Big after party. I'll be performing along with Diva Divine. And music, little drag show.
And it's all going down at Havana, right?
Havana's,
yeah, right on Main Street. And Miss Pumpkin, this has to be a pretty big milestone for you celebrating 20 years. I mean, when you look back on that, is it gonna hit drinking age next year?
Then I'm never retiring. They're gonna have to carry me out of there in a box. I'm not giving up that. 21. So she's legal drinking age next year.
And this kind of wraps up an entire month of fun in New Hope. Tell us about that, Melissa, and just what it means to the area.
Yeah. I mean, this wraps up out in New Hope, which kind of is put in place by New Hope Celebrates to celebrate LGBTQ plus History Month. We do have a couple events after the race, but the race is really the big event of the month, and it's an all-inclusive event, and it represents our community's diversity and the acceptance of everyone in our town.
So let me tell you, if you want to have some fun, this is fun like you have never seen before.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, and I will say that it is our 20th anniversary, so we do have a couple of special surprises planned.
Oh, I love it.
Miss Pumpkin seems like a secret revealer. Any secrets you want to tell us, Miss Pumpkin?
You have to bribe me. A bucket of chicken works, but...
And what time are we starting on Sunday? Like 3:00, right?
Yes.
The race is at 3 sharp.
Right. The race is at 3. We start lining up at 1.
Yeah, and you if you want a prime viewing spot to watch this race in the streets, Chris,
you gotta be
there.
I can't wait.
What intersection would if somebody was brand new to New Hope and hearing this?
Mechanic Street,
Mechanic and Main.
That nice hill.
And what about more information? So if you want the schedule of events of things that are still to come and more info about the high heel race and of course out in New Hope, where can everybody get that information?
Sure. That would be at newhopecelebrates.com, or you can find us on Instagram or Facebook at New Hope Celebrates.
It's Chris and the Crew's Daily Scoop.
Oh my God. So that was brand new music from Lady Gaga. It's making Joe dance around the studio.
I do love it. It's old school Gaga, right?
I love it. So did Jamie Foxx's mystery illness have something to do with Diddy? This is kind of crazy.
This is.
So remember, he never really revealed what happened to him.
And if you forgot, he was hospitalized.
He was near death
is what we knew, right?
Yeah. Here's a new angle that Diddy did it. So people who were at the 3-day taping of Jamie's new Netflix special, What Had Happened Was, earlier this month, say that he blamed Diddy for his health emergency. One person claims that Jamie said that Diddy did something, quote unquote, to Jamie that caused, his sickness. And Jamie's the one who actually called the FBI on him. This guy says he didn't think Jamie was joking. Because, he tells jokes, right?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So another one of these people at the taping says that Jamie told the crowd that Diddy poisoned him. Okay. But then somebody else, a third person, claims that Jamie did tell a bunch of Diddy jokes, but didn't blame Diddy for the health issues. So it almost seems like people are trying to figure out what was jokes and what wasn't. You know what I mean?
It's weird.
Weird, though. No air date for the special, but now I want to watch it. They did a really good job because now we're all like, we got to watch this.
Exactly.
So interesting. So yesterday, as expected, the LA County District Attorney recommended that the Menendez brothers, who, originally from Princeton, who are serving life sentences for murdering their parents more than 30 years ago, be resentenced. Oh my God, my neighborhood is gripped with this Netflix special. Everybody's watching it.
Yeah.
So they say, if you don't know anything about this all started more than a year ago after the brothers' lawyers said that they need to have their convictions reversed because there was new evidence. So now fast forward, here we are. I mean, they could be out in a couple of weeks.
They could be home by Thanksgiving, they think.
Wow.
How do you even function in society when you've been out of society for so long.
That's got to be a really hard transition.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
And they both have gotten married since being in jail. Their spouses must be like, whoa, I wasn't planning on you ever coming home.
Yeah, true. So yeah, that Netflix show, if you want to catch up, is called Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story. And I'm kind of loving this. Amazon Prime members now have a gas discount. So you can save 10 cents a gallon. I don't know. Is anybody a gas geek like me? That is huge.
No, that is huge.
So over 7,000 BP gas stations is where this is available, including Amoco and AMPM, which I've never heard of that one. I don't think that's around here. But I did a little search of BP. They're everywhere. Pennington, Hamilton, Trenton, East Windsor, Cranberry, Bordentown. I mean, they're all over the place. PA, obviously, Bucks County. So you need an account with Earnify. That's an app, and then you can get started. Follow the directions. But so worth it. So worth it.
Anytime it involves that many app buttons, though, I don't do it.
Oh, come on. I'm going to do it right now. I'll help you do it. We're going to save money on gas. All right, there's the scoop.
Chris and the crew, 94.5 PST.
Your number one hit music station. I mean, I was even in Bath and Body Works the other day, and they've got a huge Wicked display, and I feel like every store I go into is a part of this hype.
It's insane. I can't wait for the movie, but I saw something online the other day that kind of, it's ridiculous. So the Kardashians were posting online, and I'm almost positive it was at Kim's house, and her entire house was decked out like a movie theater, and her and the whole gang, all the girls, the kids, Chris, Kim, Courtney, all of them,
sisters, everybody was
got
there.
to watch the Wicked movie.
Yeah, before anybody else.
It doesn't come out. It doesn't come out till November 22nd, and I understand. Some people get to see it early, whatever the case may be. I'm telling you, there were giant cardboard cutouts that belong in AMC movie theaters. There were balloons everywhere. There was special food. Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo were there.
I was just going to say, I think they made a special appearance.
And they set it all up. And
do you think Kim maybe has a cameo in it?
I don't know. But this
I don't think
so.
No?
Crazy to me. They haven't even had the official premieres yet. How is she getting a copy of the movie with the stars showing up at her house?
Matching pajamas, themed foods. It kind of pissed me off a little bit.
I know. Me too.
And people were talking online. They were like, these kids are not going to understand what it's like to have a real special experience because this just happened to them on a random Thursday.
They have to keep upping and upping special moments for these kids. Like, how do you top these things? They're only like 8.
I know. And it's just insanity to me. Like, I understand they have pulled they're the Kardashians. I understand.
Or did they just... Do you think it was free or did they pay for it somehow?
I don't know. They were thanking Warner Brothers and Ariana Grande and everybody who came along to set this whole thing up.
Like, how are they the ones that get an advanced copy and all this special treatment like any other star in Hollywood?
I know.
It's bizarre to me.
I understand if they invited like the entire family, even the kids, to the premiere.
Right.
I would totally understand that. But to have a premiere before the premiere at Kim Kardashian's house, what are we doing? I'm a little annoyed about this.
On that.
Chris and the crew on 94.5 PST. This was Chris and the Crew on Demand, sponsored by Trinity Rehab. Schedule an appointment now at trinity-rehab.com. Wake up with Chris and the Crew, weekdays 6 until 10 on your number one hit music station, 94.5 PST.